Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So this is the part 6 of Apex real-time trigger scenarios, and the problem statement is quite clear over here. Whenever a contact is created, if the contact email address exists as a user email address, then update phone address from the user to the contact. The as object used over here is contact and the event is before insert. So this is the query that I have taken for getting the standard user fields. So select id comma name comma street comma city comma state comma postal code and country from user. Why I have written it over here, I will let you know further. So without any delay, let's go to the developer console. Over here I have created one apex trigger that is update phone from user, that is executing on the before insert event, and over here it is a handler class. So what we will do, we will just pass on the value of trigger.new to the method that we will create over this class. So I will create one method over here, that is public static void update phone and address. So this is the function that I have created. Over here I will create one parameterized value. So over here I will just list contact I will just name it as trigger new. So what I am getting from the trigger, I will try to get the value of trigger.new and I will just save it. So now once our class is ready, we will directly call it from trigger, and the name of the class is contact handler dot. Okay, so over here without any delay we will just pass trigger dot new and we will just save it. In the trigger there is only single line that we will be using, that is we are passing the value of newly created records trigger.new to the contact handler. If I go over here, we can see that we are having a value of update phone and address list, and there we are passing the value of trigger.new. If you see over here, what we are doing, like we are whenever a contact is created, if the contact email address, so email address is the point where we need to empathize as well. So what I will do, I will just go to my user over here. If I go to user, you can see that this is my user salesforce trend. It is having a value of email, that is salesforce@gmail.com. It is having address and it is having a phone. Okay, so what we will do, we will first of all iterate through the loop. So I will just write for contact con trigger.new. Over here we first check whether the email that we are going to input in that contact is null or not. String dot is not blank. What we need to check, con dot email. Try to save it. Okay, just give me a moment. Let us save it now. Here what I will prepare a list of string for capturing the emails that are coming from the new contact creation, or we can use a set as well. So let me do a thing, let's use the set. Okay, what's better? Okay, so I will just write set over here. We are passing only trigger new. Sometimes what happens, like whenever you are trying to create a videos, there is some mistakes you occur, and that is why we are showing it live, because we want that if we are facing certain difficulties what we have faced, so you can also check. Okay, so I will just use email address dot add what I will do con dot email. Now what the thing is, we have stored the email address in this set. Okay, it's n over here. So now we will create one map, as we need to avoid for under loop under a for loop. So I will just type map string comma user map equals to new map string comma user. Here user is a as object that we are using. So now what we will do, we will just query over user, but for that we need to check if email address dot size is greater than 0. Okay, so over here if the size is 0, then what we will do, for user obj, that is user object, select. Remember in the beginning I have said you like we are going to use this query, so I will just copy it. Why I am using it I will tell you just now. Okay, select id comma name comma phone also. So we are trying to get the values from user, where email id in email address. Okay, okay, so it is giving us an error, that is from user where email address is. Okay, only aggregate is from user email id in email address. Okay, over here I just need to correct it first. Okay, so let me try to run this query first in the anonymous window, like what exactly the problem is. So I will just go and tap over here. Okay, so we are having an error over here. Select id comma phone. Okay, we are missing a semicolon over, oh sorry, comma over here, and try to execute it. Okay, so here we are having one problem, like first of all there is no space and there is comma that was missing. Okay, so as soon as the error is resolved, what we are going to do, we are going to put the values of those users record over where the email address is in this set. Okay, so what I will do, I will just do user map dot put email user obj dot email comma user obj, and I will just control save it. Now we are having a map. Why we have used this map? Because we want to avoid the for loop inside the for loop, because it's not a best apex practice. So now what we will do, we will just check, and we will iterate one more time for the trigger.new contact com trigger new. What we will do, if we are going to use one of the most important method that we will use frequently in Apex, that is if user map dot contains key what the thing is, email address that we are use, con dot email. If the user map contains what we are trying to fetch over here, like if there is any user which is having the email address that we are putting in the contact. So now if this condition is satisfied, what we need to do, we need to uh, map the values to the contact, like the phone, street, cities, state, postal code and country. So what we will do, we will first check if user map dot contains key con dot email dot phone not equals to null. If it is not null, then we what we will do, we will just put con dot phone equals to user map dot, sorry about that. Okay, so over here, now save it. So it is saying sorry, first of all we need to save it. Okay, so it is showing us a problem. User map dot email contains key contact dot phone not equals to null. So first of all we will debug the things whether we are doing it correctly or not. System dot debug user map, or is there any other API? Okay, it is saying like the phone is not existing. So what we will do, contains key dot phone not equals to null. Okay, so I'm just stopping the video over here. So guys, welcome after a break. So the error that what I was facing, like I was using the contains key method over here. Instead of that, we need to use this get method to get the values. So now I'm getting the proper output. Before that, I will do one thing, like let me just delete some of the contacts, okay, that are having the same email address. Okay. Okay, so now the contacts are being deleted. So what we need to check if they are blank or not. So I will just apply one more if condition over here. If user map dot phone is not null, so what I will do, not equals to null, then what we will do, we will just update con dot phone equals to and save it. Now afterwards we need to do the same operation with the address field. So as we go to the address in the object manager, if we open the user object over here, so in this users, if I go to fields, you can see there is only one field for address, and if I open it, it's a compound field. For that we have just opened the APIs. In the address field we can have that much values like city, country, country code, latitude, longitude, postal code, state, state code, so street also. So we need to go one by one on these values. So I will just come over here and I will check if dot street so this is a string value, so I will just put a function over here, dot is not blank, and over here straight, and again con dot in the contact we are going to use mailing address, so I will just type mailing street equals to dot street. Try to save it. Let's see. Okay, now we need to do this operation for I think other address field. So I will just copy this block, and over here I will just type city, and over here in the city, sorry, that will be mailing city, and over here in the city. Now for the state, over here mailing state. Now for this we need to go for country, mailing country over here. Now we need to do the same with the postal code or zip code, you can say. Mailing postal code. Now street is there, city is there, state is there, country is there, postal code is over here. Remember the context where we are using, like we are using this before insert, so there is no need to do the update for this record, it will be done automatically. So now let's just little bit indent our code in a correct way so it looks nice. Okay, now let's do the comment section function for updating the phone and address fields. Over here now map for user to store the information on the basis of email. Now over here set for storing the address, set for storing the email address. Iterating over the values we are getting from trigger. Now checking the set size. Over here checking if any user has the same email as we are providing in the contact. Okay, so this is now done. Let's try to save it. Before that, let me go to the user that I am having. So if I go to the user over here, so I'm having this user, that is Salesforce Train. It is having the email address salesforcetrain@gmail.com. If I go below, it is having the address, that is ABC Street, ABC, and there is a zip code, and there is a country, that is India. If I go bottom, in the phone there is a value of 12345678990. So let's try to create one new contact with the same email address that we are having in our user. So I will just type Salesforce trend, and in the email I will just provide the value salesforce trend at gmail.com, and let me try to save it. Let's see what value comes in. So as soon as I save it, over here like we are getting the value of 123456789, that is the user's phone number. And if I go to the address, like the mailing address, we are having the value of ABC street. If I do it, like in the street this is ABC street, the mailing city is ABC, mailing state is ABC, zip code that we have provided, mailing country India. So with this we end this video. Do let us know your feedback. Thank you.